I'm Clayton Collins, CEO at HousingWire, and your host for this podcast. Today, you may have noticed a brand new show title and new logo in your podcast feed. And I'm here today to give you a little context and an update for the grand reveal of the future of housing news. We've been publishing the Housing News podcast for 5 years, since 2018. 256 shows, over 440,000 downloads. Listeners coming from the US, Canada, Poland, Germany, and many other countries across the world. And just last week, Housing News was named the #1 mortgage podcast by FeedSpot. This is a huge accomplishment. We're so excited about reaching the top of the mortgage podcast sphere. But now, time to look forward. Starting in 2024, a brand new brand. And we're here today to tell you about this strategy and this story. When we started Housing News 5 years ago, as the name suggests, it was a very news-focused show. Today, our podcast strategy has evolved a little bit. You may listen to the extremely popular HousingWire Daily podcast hosted by Sarah Wheeler and frequented by guests like Logan Mohtashami and James Kleiman. This show has reached astronomical heights, reaching the tops of business news podcast charts. This is our show focused on housing news and recaps. So, where does housing news go from here? Over the last few years, I've kind of redirected this show to be executive interviews. I've interviewed leaders from mortgage and real estate, economists, financial and economic analysts, incredible technologists. This show has brought forward a lot of knowledge about business strategy, innovation, housing data, some amazing conversations that I'm never going to forget. The strategy from the last few years has really influenced where I want to take this show in the future. As we look forward this year and beyond, we're going to focus the show on CEO to CEO conversations. We call this the housing industry's boardroom. We are focusing in on interviewing the powerhouses of real estate, mortgage, and technology. I want to take this opportunity to have one-on-one conversations with the leaders that are moving the housing market forward and really making an impact on making housing more efficient, more accessible, and more powerful. I get so excited about these interviews and have a long list of guests that are coming up starting next week that are really going to rock your world and show some transparency to what it's like to lead innovative, growing companies in mortgage and real estate. So you clicked on this show, you already know the brand. The new brand for Housing News is Powerhouse. And that's what you can expect from this podcast 52 weeks a year. Folks, I can't thank you enough for being loyal listeners to Housing News. And I hope you bring that loyalty and engagement to Powerhouse. Share the show, learn from it, be part of the community. I appreciate you so much. Here's to an incredibly powerful and impactful 2024. Stay tuned next week. We have an incredible guest. Have a great new year and a great 2024.